Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturning. A bit ago I made this laminated and segmented Christmas bell, and I had some material left over and I wanted to use it. I couldn't bear to see that much work go into it and then be wasted. So I decided to make this Christmas globe style ornament with the same material. However, then I didn't have enough and I didn't want to try and match it, so I supplemented it with more standard segmented. This is a standard cherry segmented ring, 12 segments, and then walnut here with veneer spacing in between. So had to add a little bit to it, plus the veneer sandwiches in between. Now there's people bringing their ornaments in for the Christmas Ornament Challenge. I'd love to see your Christmas ornament. Let's get it in the month of November. Meanwhile, let's make this Christmas ornament for the contest.
Glue a block as the laminated and segmented bell. However, in estimated wood requirements, I don't have enough wood. To stretch what I have, I ripped my glue block in half to double the number of segments. Actually, this gave me 2 sets of complementary patterns and 4 mismatched blocks. I decided to mix the mismatch by alternating the patterns. Otherwise, I'm gluing these the same as the bell project. After gluing, I'm again ripping them in half. However, I need even more wood to have a good height for the ornament. To have more wood, I'm now cutting walnut for a segmented ring. The walnut is a bit ratty. I'll pay for that later. This wedgie sled normally does a great job at cutting segments. Now to glue up the ring. I'm stretching a double layer of masking tape sticky side up. Then place the segments on their long side on the tape. I'm also adding a small piece of maple veneer between each segment. I'm using the half ring technique since it does not look like I can glue it all at once. I'm using a small bolt as a spacer at each half. The bolt becomes a pivot point for the segments so that the ones being glued mate together better. Now to sand each half. Just a little on the back side so that it lays flat, then sand off pencil marks on the parts that need to mate together. This is probably my worst segment ring in a long time. I'll blame the ratty wood and the maple veneer. Finally, I'm gluing the 2 half rings together with their maple spacers. Now that the glue has dried, I've mounted the ring on the lathe. I want to part it in half for 2 identical rings that will be on opposite sides of my ornament's equator. Now to glue up the rings. I already have a 1.5 inch of square of solid wood on one side so that I can mount the first ring to a chuck. I'm putting a piece of maple veneer between the layers. The first layer is my laminated segmented ring, then my walnut segmented ring. Then glue one of the mismatched layers on. With the pattern alternating, it will look deliberate. Finally, a ring of cherry with veneer between the layers, but not the segments. Later, I'll glue a sandwich of maple, walnut, and maple between the 2 hemispheres. I'm a little worried about keeping the hemispheres aligned while I turn the exterior, so I'm drilling a 1/4 inch hole through each hemisphere for a dowel to keep them aligned. Then, with the hemispheres pressed together without glue, I'm trimming back the exterior. After I cut away all the wild corners, I can work to round off the ornament. I'm not trying for a perfect sphere. I do want a smooth oval that shows off the lamination and segmentation. This is mostly spindle gouge work. With the exterior now nearly completely formed, I can separate the 2 hemispheres and quickly hollow both halves. No, I'm not going to bother sanding the interior just in case it gets broken open. I'm using a spindle gouge and finish off with a round nose scraper. With the hollowing completed, I'm gluing the hemispheres together with the maple, walnut, maple veneer sandwich between them. Before the pressure of wet glue, I marked my ideal alignment on both hemispheres. Now that the glue is dry, I'm turning off the edges of the veneer sandwich and the waste block on one end. The hole through the middle is again useful. I'm mounting the ornament on a pen mandrel while I turn down the opposite end, further refine the outside, and thoroughly sand it. I'm using shellac friction polish followed by a high-speed rub down with a paper towel. I've mounted a pen blank of some tropical hardwood in the long-nosed jaws. I'm turning the top finial first. The first part is to turn a 1/4 inch tenon. My sharpened end wrenches make it easier. Still, they are slightly oversized, and I use a skew to reduce them to fit the mortise, then on to complete a simple shape. I've reversed the top finial into the jaws. A bit of masking tape helps assure a good hold and protects the tenon from finish. I also need to drill a hole to use for a mounting wire. When complete, shellac friction polish completes the finial. The bottom finial starts off the same way as the top finial with the mounting tenon. This time I want to reverse the finial soon after forming the tenon because I visualize better when down is to the right. As soon as I form the wavy end of the finial, I mount an adapter onto my live center to hold the tip centered. This prevents the finial tenon from breaking with cutting pressure. Then I continue to form the finial with a small spindle gouge and a skew. The skew gives a better finish on more gradual changing areas. Then sand and apply shellac friction polish. After adding a hanger wire, my globe ornament is finished. It is a very busy and pretty ornament, perfect for the Christmas Ornament Challenge. Make your ornament and send in your picture during November. I love this ornament. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website, tell your friends, and send me your comments and questions. Every week I make a new wood turning video. Please wear your full face shield. Goggles are not enough protection even for Christmas. Until next week's video, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns.